Welcome back, everyone. 3 brackets down, 1 to go. A lot of teams and their fans still on edge. Can you imagine sitting there waiting, trying to find out if your school is going to make it into the big dance, and if so, where they're going to go? The wait is over. Here is the final region of the tournament brackets from the NCAA and its corporate champions as we reveal the East region. First and second round games, Fort Worth, Texas. Thursday, Saturday, the Baylor Bears. Second time they're a #1 seed. The defending champions make it back-to-back years as the 1 seed.
Very impressive considering they had some injuries early on, had some new players coming into new roles, and still found themselves as Big 12 co-champions during the regular season and a dangerous, dangerous team.
Who are they going to meet? Out of the Mid-Eastern Athletic, the Spartans of Norfolk State. They captured the MEAC regular season title, beat Coppin State in the MEAC Tournament Championship. Outstanding season for Norfolk State at 24-6 and 12-2 within their conference. They're going to go up against the defending champion, Baylor Bears. Congrats to them. And song and dance as well. Out of the ACC, the 4th team out of the ACC, 8th seed Tar Heels of North Carolina. Their 52nd NCAA tournament. They reached the ACC tournament semis before losing to Virginia Tech. They're going to go up against the Golden Eagles of Marquette. 6th team from the Big East, Coach Shaka Smart has now taken 3 different schools to the NCAA tournament. To first and second round games in Portland, Oregon on Thursday and Saturday. Out of the West Coast Conference, the 2nd team out of that conference, the Gales of St. Mary's, 2nd to Gonzaga during the regular season, lost to Gonzaga in the WCC tournament final. 25-7 on the year. They will play the winner of the first 4 in Dayton, Ohio. That'll be Wyoming and Indiana. The Cowboys of Wyoming. 24 regular season wins, their most since 1952, 25-8 on the year. They'll go up against Indiana. The Hoosiers, coached by Mike Woodson, increased Indiana's win total by a lot this first season.
So those are your last 2 teams in. Jeff Blender, I love that you had a watch party not knowing if you're going to be in. Indiana, this is on the 12 line. The other first 4 games was on the 11 line. So these are your last 2 teams in the field. And Indiana getting there means 9 Big Ten teams are in this tournament, and they did not have a good tournament last year.
All right, let's finish the top half of this bracket. The 3rd team out of the Pac-12 is the UCLA Bruins at 25-7. They finished 2nd in the Pac-12 behind Arizona. They enter the tournament winning 8 of their last 10 games. And they'll go up against the Zips of Akron out of the Mid-American. They won their 4th MAC tournament title, beating the top 2 seeds on the way, Toledo and Kent State. Now, first and second round games in Milwaukee on Friday and Sunday. The 6th seed Longhorns of Texas. Timmy Allen leads the Longhorns in scoring and rebounding and steals, and the Longhorns are the 6th team out of the Big 12. They'll go up against the 11th seed Hokies of Virginia Tech. You know what they did? They won their first ACC tournament title, beating Duke in the finals, 82-67, a 23-12 year.
Seeing them as an 11 tells me it's very likely if they don't beat Duke last night, they are not in this tournament.
All right, Seth. The 9th team out of the Big Ten. 9 teams out of the Big Ten, and it's the Boilermakers of Purdue, the #3 seed. Coach Matt Painter's club, 27-7 on the year. They reached the Big Ten tournament final before losing to Iowa earlier today. They've got Jaden Ivey, all Big Ten first-team selection, averaging more than 17 points a game. They will meet Ivy League champion Yale, the Bulldogs, at 19-11. They beat top seed Princeton in the Ivy League tournament championship. First and second round games in Indianapolis on Thursday and Saturday. The Ohio Valley. Murray State Racers, a perfect 18-0 conference record. KJ Williams, the Ohio Valley Conference Player of the Year. Plenty to cheer about for this team that went 30-2 on the year and 18-0 in the conference.
And this is a very impressive team here when you think about Murray State. That 7 seed, a well-earned 7 seed. Respect for what they did all season long.
Now,
exactly.
Who do they go up against? The 3rd team out of the West Coast Conference, the Dons of San Francisco, will make their first NCAA tournament appearance since 1998. 24 wins, 9 losses on the year.
Boy, a terrific backcourt matchup in that one, Seth. The Racers and the Dons, boy, 4 outstanding guards. Jamari Bouye and then Tevin Brown, the headliners in the backcourt for those respective teams.
That was a long wait to see their name come up. They were nervous and they can exhale. Well done.
Meanwhile, the #2 seed in the East, the Wildcats of Kentucky out of the SEC, 6th team out of the SEC. your chance to watch Oscar Tshiebwe work. He leads the nation in rebounding at 15.1 a game, 27 double-doubles to his credit during Kentucky's 26-7 season. They're kind of a habit this time of year in the NCAA.
And they're a real threat to get to New Orleans and perhaps cut the nets down, too.
They will go up against St. Peter's. The Peacocks return to the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2011 after knocking off Monmouth in the MAAC tournament final. So there you have it. Let's go back to the top of this region now and take a look and see what you find.
I tell you what, with Wyoming and Indiana, I think whoever comes out of that game could actually move on to the next round against the St. Mary's team that's pretty solid.
I'm a little surprised to see Indiana seated this low. To me, the dangerous team in this side of the bracket is St. Mary's. I like them to beat UCLA. I like them to beat Baylor to get to the Elite Eight. That's two last year Final Four teams. And then you look at the bottom of this bracket. I think it's pretty clear sailing here for Kentucky, frankly. I've liked Murray State all season long, but I like Kentucky more.
Yeah, I do too. I like Kentucky to actually come out of that region, quite honestly.
All right, guys, the 9 conferences that earned multiple bids in the field of 68 look like this. The Big Ten leads the way with 9 teams, the Big 12, Big East, and SEC, each with 6. Similar to last year, there are COVID contingencies. Should any of these conferences have a team withdraw, a replacement team will fill their spot in the bracket, meaning the teams that just missed the 68-team field, Dayton, Oklahoma, SMU, Texas A&M, are in that order on standby to replace any team from a multi-bid conference that is forced to withdraw. Now, should a conference champion from a single-bid league need to withdraw, that conference will designate a team to fill their spot in the bracket. The deadline for replacement teams is tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern Time for a first 4 withdrawal and a 6 p.m. for the first round withdrawal. Once the tournament begins, any withdrawals will result in a no contest. That said, let's turn our attention back to the last 4 teams that made it into the tournament and the 4 teams that were close but didn't make the field of 68. Seth, a team you feel should have made it?
Well, none of them, frankly. This is pretty much what I had. I had Notre Dame out of the field, and I had Xavier actually in the field, so I'm surprised they weren't in the first 4 out. I'm surprised that Michigan is nowhere on this list, and I'm actually surprised that Dayton was the first team out. I don't think a lot of people had that, Clark. I had Xavier in, Notre Dame out, but I've always said if you're on the bubble, you can't complain.
That's exactly right.
Michigan is a surprise, though.
No, it is, but the strength of schedule. We know how the committee views strength of non-conference schedule, especially, Seth, and I think that carried the day in addition to quality wins. And as you've often said, when teams are on the bubble, you're being compared to other teams, and nobody is without more significant flaws than the rest of the field, and therefore some of those things, strength of non-conference schedule, who have you beaten, those things can carry a lot of weight in differentiating.
There's been so much talk, which the Big Ten has earned, about how they performed in the NCAA tournament. You got 9 teams in, guys.
Fair shot.
Time to show it.